Hello and welcome back. As always, thank you for tuning in and joining me here, and again for your commitment, dedication to your practice, whatever that may look like for you. What you're doing by merely spending the next 20 or so minutes right here watching this video is of tremendous importance. It really is, because if we don't take time out of our chaotic, hectic day to check in with our inner teacher in some ritualized fashion like this, when will we do it? Because we often forget. This course, studying, practicing, doing this course, is all about habit forming. Not that kind of habit forming. You know all about that kind of habit forming. I mean, a good kind of habit forming, as in cultivating the relationship that we all have with our inner teacher, the Holy Spirit, part of our mind, to which we're invited over and over again as we study and practice these materials to turn to for loving guidance and support, to turn to for guidance, for direction. We're invited to take the Holy Spirit as our teacher instead of the ego. That's the other option. We've chosen that one far too long and too often, which is why we appear to be in such wild, spinning, hectic, violent chaos. That's why. Continue to believe you're an individual self-sustaining survival unit. Trouble will find you, often instantly, as we all know. So, what do we do? That's the question. And you may be asking yourself that. And if you're not right now, chances are you've done it before and you'll do it again. Because this comes up no matter where we appear to find ourselves on our journey. I mean, these videos are for everybody. So whether you're a long-time course student or a beginning course student, or whether you're even a course student at all, you don't have to be one, by the way, to gain tremendous benefit from this and all of these videos. Yeah, if you do nothing else, just watch. Watch and pay attention because there's a message for you from the Holy Spirit. What will exactly that be? I don't know. Uh, but you will. You will know it when you hear it. I mean, this is true of anything that we appear to experience. There's no coincidence. There is no coincidence at all. No accidents. None of this appears to happen by accident. Not a single moment of it. So you'll know the message designed for you when you hear it. And it's very natural for us to wonder, what do I do? Okay, so this is a dream. Great, fantastic. Feels real. What do I do? I mean, what, as a practical matter, can I actually do right now? Well, part of the genius of A Course in Miracles lies in the fact that it is a self-study curriculum, meaning we all go at what looks like our own pace. In other words, we take what we want to take at a given time. Now, you might choose to see it this way. We take what we're willing to take at a given time. We allow ourselves to be led by the Holy Spirit as far as we feel able to be led, as far as we're willing to be led on a given day. And He knows we won't go further than that, but we give Him whatever this looks like, time, our thoughts, our experience. We allow ourselves to be directed as far as we're willing to go today. And we simply get up tomorrow and we do the exact same thing. The very title, A Course in Miracles, attracts people. You may be one that heard about this thing called A Course in Miracles and were attracted by the title, especially the inclusion of the word miracles. And you might have, and quite rightly, thought, wow, I could use some miracles in my life right now. Yeah, we all could. So here's what a miracle is: it is a change in our mind. Now, that obviously doesn't sound as sexy and glamorous and shiny as raising the dead, saying, Lazarus, get up. You're not dead, dude. Wake up and walk with me, will you? It's not as glamorous as that, nor is it as glamorous as literally moving a mountain with the power of our thought, getting the Himalayas to just simply uproot themselves and relocate, or walking on water. It's not as glamorous as that, is it? Though those are certainly miracles. A miracle is much more accessible than that. There wouldn't be any good in having a course in miracles if they could only be done by a certain historical person. By the way, the same one that dictated this course. Miracles are for everyone, and the definition of it is extremely accessible. It's a change of mind. Any shift, any change of mind from darkness to light, from separation to unity, from illusion to truth, from death to life, from the ego to God. There are many ways that we can put this in words. A miracle is any shift at all, a change of mind. That is why this course emphasizes the mind. It is the mind that Jesus is talking to in delivering and dictating this course, in giving it in the first place. He's talking to this mind that appears to be split. I mean, we certainly appear to be in chaos and conflict, don't we? I mean, even if you're extraordinarily wealthy and you've got it made here in what we call the material world, there's still conflict in your mind. If there weren't, you wouldn't be watching this. Promise you that, right? We have moments, we may have entire decades that appear blissful, yet within these periods of bliss and wealth and fantastic bottles of wine and having all of our material needs met and taken care of one way or another, whatever, not having to worry about that. Why are you still worried in the mind? Exactly. Our experience is up and down. One moment, we feel great, very powerful, or thankful, just relaxed. And then we're anxious. We're stressed out. Something disturbs our peace. When this peace is disturbed, it is an opportunity for you to show yourself for what you really are, a miracle worker. Ooh, yeah, you are a miracle worker. I have every confidence that you can and will perform them because you've performed a lot of them to this point. If you hadn't, there's no way in the world that you'd be watching this. Not even. I mean, you don't have to even now. There's a lot of other content out there, but here you are listening to the Holy Spirit. Well, that should tell you something. Huh. Miracles are accessible to all of us. They're a shift in our mind, a change of mind. Another way of looking at that is a shift from fear to love. So, as a practical matter, we forgive. Our forgiveness here in the dream illusory world is the direct counterpart to what the Course refers to as justice in heaven. And justice is not punitive, it's unitary. It applies to every living thing. It's oneness, it's universal. So our forgiveness is the counterpart while we appear to be here. Our forgiveness of anything that disturbs our peace of mind, anything that is not wholly joyous, in other words, anything annoying, anything frightening, anything that makes us enraged or anxious, whatever that may be, whatever the outward form it may be, we practice true forgiveness of that under the guidance of the Holy Spirit. This forgiveness both begins and ends with us. There is no separation of any kind, which means your brother, what appear to be all the other life forms, your brother is you. There's no separation. You forgive yourself. This is so because the entire world, including these bodies that we appear to inhabit, all of it is a projection of our mind. We're not taught this in school. I mean, if you were, that's pretty cool, but most of us sure weren't. So it's something that we encounter here on the spiritual path as an adult. Wherever you happen to be in your life, you've encountered this and you're drawn to it. Yeah, we're all drawn to it. So we're training the mind. And it doesn't sound glamorous. And there are plenty of times where it's not glamorous at all because we have to bring all of our darkness to light. We bring our hot mess, our stuff, you know, our stuff to light. Here's what happens. Our stuff does not destroy us. It's darkness. What happens to darkness in the presence of light? There's no more darkness. It's gone. It simply vanishes. That's what happens. As we continue to forgive, we're shining truth. We're shining the light of truth on what appears to be a hot mess, a chaotic situation full of rage, hatred, guilt, blame, hostility, anxiety, depression, trauma, and fear. So, again, we allow ourselves to be guided as far as we feel able to go. And you may not feel able to do any of this because this fear is acute. We've made it real to ourselves. And when somebody is in a state of existential panic or deep anxiety, it doesn't necessarily do any good to say, none of this is real. Snap out of it. Huh, not at all. So that's not how the Holy Spirit operates. I mean, the Course says what it says, but here in the world where we all appear to be in one state of, well, grief or depression or anxiety or despair or another, right? All of the outward forms appear to differ. And as part of our mind, the Holy Spirit knows what to offer you. He knows if you're only able to give a fraction of a second to forgiveness or to connecting with Him. If that's all you're able to do today, that is enough. It is. It's just as powerful to check in for a fraction of a second or one video if you do nothing else. You're listening to the Holy Spirit right now, so I thank you for that. It's very important. Even a fraction of a second is as powerful as walking by Lazarus' tomb and saying, Dude, get up. Come on, man. Come on, these people need to see you. Wake up. Yeah, it's just as powerful as that. Why? There is no order of difficulty in miracles, all of these shifts, all of these changes in our mind from darkness to light, from fear to love, all of them are equally powerful. They're expressions of love, and all expressions of love are maximal. Love is total and all encompassing. So, being able to give yourself just the tiniest little blip, the little fraction of a second to extending forgiveness to your brother or to connecting with the Holy Spirit, saying, Please help. Is that not enough? That's setting your ego aside. That's a miracle, isn't it? It is. So, comparative reality in this situation does us great harm, doesn't it? Yet it's difficult to avoid because we're so accustomed to looking at other people thinking, oh, he's so zen. Now, what does that even mean? He's so zen. Asking for a friend. What does that even mean, right? When you're just as capable of performing miracles as somebody that you see giving global workshops that is a celebrity on Oprah or something, which this pixelated image is not. But you get the point. Comparing yourself doesn't work because there's no separation in the first place. So your miracle is a miracle that's just as powerful as waking up 72 hours after you were crucified and walking around and speaking to people that you knew 72 hours prior. For example, it's just as powerful. When the Course says there is no order of difficulty in miracles, this is in the text. Chapter 1, Section 1, Paragraph 1, Sentence 1. This is the lead off of the text for a reason. You are a miracle worker. So if you take nothing else away from that, understand that you are. I have every confidence that you will continue to be because you can't go back. You're welcome. There's no going back. Why would you want to? It's not worthy of you to return to where you were before you set foot on this wild thing called the spiritual path. Of course, the temptation to go back exists for sure, apparently. It pops up in our mind that, gosh, wouldn't we be comfortable withholding forgiveness from our brother? Well, if you do, you experience the immediate result of that. It doesn't feel good. Huh. Yeah. You are a miracle worker, I insist. I may not feel like it today, and as free as we are to choose love over fear, we can choose fear over love. I mean, we've been doing it. So that means that you are free to deny what this course says. Deny it as much as you want to. The choice is yours. And no one will stop you. None of us is going to stop you. Only you can stop yourself. Will you? Be very kind of you to continue to forgive. So that's the invitation today to all of us to change our mind. So I invite you to please join me. That has more than one meaning, by the way. That icon is the subscription icon. Click that if you haven't joined us already. And there are several videos that appear each week. This is an international community and growing, so thank you to those of you who have recently subscribed. Again, this icon that you see over here in the corner of your screen is the prompt. Click it, and you'll be invited to join us. So please go ahead and do that. And should you have any questions, please ask. It's worth repeating. This is something that comes up a lot, and for good reason, is because as learners on a path that may feel really, really weird to us, like A Course in Miracles, that might seem a little out there, huh? A little different. Yeah, maybe a little odd. Yeah, if you're having those thoughts, you are certainly not alone. We've all had them. What this means is that questions are bound to arise, and this is spirituality. Why wouldn't they? It's deep self-inquiry, no matter what the outward form of your practice looks like, no matter what tradition or traditions you're into or are raised in, it's still about deep self-inquiry. So questions are more than welcome, and we stop ourselves unnecessarily doing what we've done pretty much all our lives, and that is formulate a question and hesitate to ask in all arenas. I mean, from school on down, because we sometimes feel that we should already know the answer and that people will think I'm a beginner. They will think I'm dumb. No, they won't. If they do, that's their own projection, as we all know. But it's really not the case. I mean, how many times have you had the experience of sitting in school, let's say, or in a seminar or something, and having a question, and then someone pops up and asks the question, and there is an audible, palpable sigh of relief because half the audience had the same question, yet many of them were hesitant to ask. So, as you ask the question publicly, you benefit a global audience. You influence greatly the trajectory of people on this wobbling, spinning ball of rock whom you're highly unlikely to ever meet in person because they live on different continents and hemispheres and stuff like that. You could positively impact somebody. And if you are new to this course, the beginner questions are almost always the best. Why is that? Because they invite us all to go back to the basics, back to the present moment, in other words, right back to square one. There are people that have been studying this for 30 or more years that will greatly benefit from what seems to be a very basic question. Because for them, you're asking it may trigger what we call this aha moment where the proverbial light goes on for all time. You could very positively impact somebody, and you don't know unless you ask. So questions are always, always more than welcome. And if it seems like it's going to take too much time and typing to type out the answer, then I'll be happy to record a video, a standalone video or two or three or however many to address the question. So this is something that we do here periodically, and that's an open invitation to all of you at all times. So yeah, if you feel like doing that, take me up on that. It will be of great benefit for many, many people. Okay. So I thank you as always for tuning in, and I will talk to you soon.